Just 6 months before the 19th Amendment was ratified, giving women the right to vote after a 72-year struggle. The League began...
72 years, good God.
The League began as a mighty political experiment designed to help the 20 million women carry out their new responsibilities as voters. It encouraged them to use their new power to participate in shaping public policy. From the beginning, the League has been an activist grassroots organization whose leaders believed that citizens should play a crucial role in advocacy. It was then, as is now, a nonpartisan stance. League founders believed that maintaining a nonpartisan stance would protect the fledgling organization from becoming mired in the party politics of the day. However, League members were encouraged to be political themselves by educating citizens about and lobbying for government and social reform legislation. The League's work has evolved from these efforts to gain and foster women's suffrage to ensure that all eligible voters have the opportunity and the information they need to exercise their right to vote. The mission is to advocate for a free, fair, and accessible electoral system with nonpartisan access to candidates' positions on the issues. The League is well known and respected for its voter registration drives, meet and greets, candidates' debates and forums, voters' guides, and the recent Vote 411. The League of Women Voters of Hays County now has Vote 411 up and running, and if you have not visited the vote411.org website, I urge you to do so. It's so easy to use. You just type in your name, your address, and up pops all you need to know. When and where to vote, and the actual ballot you will receive at the polling place. And I believe we have some little strips of paper at the back table that further describe Vote 411. So if you aren't familiar with it, pick one of those up on your way out. Also, Vote 411 has information on the candidates and their answers to questions involving some of the pressing issues that will be facing them if elected. At some point in time, due to the expense of printing voters' guides, Vote 411 may replace the much looked forward to guides. The cost of printing the voters' guides sometimes almost doubles from year to year, which places the hardship on a local league's ability to print enough copies to meet the demand. Just a word about the League of Women Voters in Texas. It was formed in 1919 in San Antonio, Texas, with Jesse Daniel Ames of Georgetown as its first president. During its early years, it urged women to pay poll taxes, conducted citizenship schools, issued a voters' candidate calendar, queried candidates and published the results, and printed a booklet entitled Know Your County. It lobbied for legislation to establish a minimum wage for women, provide maternity and infant care, prohibit child labor, allow jury service for women, reform the state prison system, improve rural education, establish a secret ballot, and give women equal representation in delegations to national party conventions. It took until 1949 to secure a secret ballot, and it took until 1954 to allow women to serve on juries. The League of Women Voters is the largest grassroots advocacy and citizen engagement organization in the United States. League advocacy is based on member study and consensus on selected issues and involves concerted efforts to achieve public policies consistent with League positions. League public policy positions are the official statements of position for each program area and reflect the program adopted by the most recent state or national convention. Every 2 years, local and state leagues make recommendations concerning program issues to the national and state leagues. This program process identifies issues for study and issues for review and update. League members balance the pros and cons and consider the viability of the issues through fact-based materials and detailed research. Recommendations are reached through consensus of all members in all 50 states and are then forwarded to the National Convention after this 2-year study process. If there is consensus nationally, the issues are adopted. Therefore, all issues are nonpartisan, not political, and reached through research, study, and consensus. The issues for which the League advocates are many, but to name just a few: criminal justice, behavioral health issues, education, immigration, redistricting, women's health, and child abuse and neglect. Many issues the state and national league supports or opposes have been enacted over the decades and have been reviewed and updated as new research has become available. The league's positions on these issues is available on its websites and in its publications. Because these issues are part of political campaigns, the league may appear to some as supporting or opposing a particular political party, which is not the case. Local leagues also conduct studies on local issues using the same process: detailed research, study, and consensus. Since the league in Wimberley has not undertaken any local studies, the league has no public position on strictly local issues. Therefore, the league neither supports nor opposes any plan for the wastewater treatment system in Wimberley. The league is proud to be nonpartisan, neither supporting nor opposing candidates or political parties at any level of government, but always working on vital issues of concern to members and the public. The league has a long, rich history that continues with each passing year. If you wish to contribute to the continuation of league candidates' debates, forums, meets and greets, voters' guide, publication, and Vote for One, which is not free, by the way, feel free to drop a donation in the jars that are provided on the tables. And for those of you who wish to make a tax-free contribution, you may make a check out to LWV Hayes County Education Fund. The late Barbara Jordan said, "Let each person do his or her part. If one citizen is unwilling to participate, all of us are going to suffer." For the American dream, though it is shared by all of us, is realized in each one of us. Being willing to be a candidate for public office and serving one's community is commendable. Thank you to all the candidates for your willingness to serve. And to you in the audience, voting is the most powerful way to have your voice heard, and it is the core of our democracy. Our moderator for this evening's candidates debate is Carol Belver, who resides in San Marcos. Carol is a seasoned moderator and longtime league member. She is the executive director of Community Action Incorporated of Central Texas. Carol says Wimberley is her favorite place to moderate a debate. And she's had a very busy day, as you can imagine. Perhaps most of you have heard San Marcos received 7 inches of rain this morning. So in spite of a long and busy day, please join me in welcoming Carol Belver.
Thanks, Carol, and welcome everybody. It has been a long day. I didn't have lunch until 4 o'clock, so my head was kind of hurting when I got here, but things have kind of mellowed out. Once I got on the highway and realized I wasn't going to get flooded off the road, I kind of just sat back and breathed again, and so I'm here, and I'm glad to be here. And it's nice to see so many people that I've seen here before. I think this is what, my third or fourth year to do this. And it's about the only one I will do. So, and I want you to know, I have no vested interest in Wimberley. I am merely a visitor and an outsider looking in. But I have lived in this area since 1979, and I have a lot of friends that live in Wimberley, and I really think it's a really great place to live. I'd like to bring just a couple of things to your awareness. One is the use of 411 is free. You don't have to buy it. It is free. You just go to the website and go in there and you get all your information that you need. The other thing is I know that y'all are a very opinionated community. Well, maybe just a little. So I really want to encourage you to please, please be civil to one another. You're our neighbors. We have to live with each other whether we like it or not. And I don't want to have to bang my fist on the table tonight. So I save that for my grandkids. So before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone of the candidates debate rules. And I'll just read these to you. And they were sent out to everyone. And also, I would like to first introduce John White. He is an unopposed candidate for place 5. John, if you would just stand up and wave. All unopposed candidates are given the opportunity to submit a written statement to the candidate moderator prior to today at noon. And that could have been read, but that was not submitted. So thank you for your attendance, and we will have time at the end, I'm sure, for people to mingle and ask you questions. Okay. All right, so the League of Women Voters of Hayes County Rules for Candidates Debate. Introductory remarks. Only candidates who appear on the ballot will be invited to speak and participate in the question and answer sessions of the Wimberley City Council Candidates Debate. At the beginning of the debate, each candidate will have an opportunity to speak for 2 minutes. This time should be used for introduction and to address the issues. Timekeepers will hold up cards showing the countdown of time. A card indicating 15 seconds remaining will be a signal for the candidate to conclude his or her remarks. When time has elapsed, a timekeeper will hold up the stop, S-T-O-P, card indicating that the time has ended. The candidate should conclude his or her sentence at that time. There will be no substitute speakers. If a candidate is unable to attend the debate, he or she may submit a statement to be read by the moderator. The same 2-minute time limit will apply to the written statement. The moderator will stop reading when the time has ended. A non-contested candidate may submit a statement to be read by the moderator at the debate. The length of the statement cannot exceed the 2-minute time limit. The debate. The moderator